Hey guys, what's up? Hopefully you're having a great Friday, and I hope it kicks off into a fun and meaningful but relaxing weekend. So I've got four more feature film Fantasia Fest reviews for you, but I have shorts to review as well. And then I'll have my ranking for this and the New York Asian Film Festival, maybe some other things as well that I haven't done yet this year. Uh, the following week, not next week, but the following week. But we'll see. Stay tuned to Mystic and Severe to find out more about that. So, for these four, they are kind of ranked. So they get gradually better, in my opinion. So let's start with Cello. It's a very strange film in a touching and sincere way. It basically worked for me. And I'd love to get Alejandro Jodorowsky's response to this movie because it sort of had his brutal mysticism residually in it. At least I felt that way. Maybe the director isn't a fan, though. We get the tale of a young girl who kills her parents. We find out eventually as to why she would do such a thing. That's how the movie starts. She swallows a fish and kills her parents quite brutally. Her father didn't see it coming, and her mother is happy that it happens. She then hits the road to see her priest, get a getaway car from him, meet some ladies, see some wrestling, get busted, and go on a spiritual odyssey for the new people in her life. The child actor is very good, but things felt abrupt and unjustified at times. I just didn't really get it. It made me ponder why this movie is what it is. I still think it's got something going on, though. I talked to people at Fantasia Fest who love this one. It totally worked for them and on a deep level. It's certainly a potent film and it's doing something, but I just don't get it or just don't love it like some of my friends. Julie Pacino is Al Pacino's daughter. It was neat to see her in person introduce her first film called I Live Here Now. It's got a stat cast, and I'd say the experience was fun in the sense that it's hot nonsense. The movie's abstract or maybe just bizarre. I try not to think about these things too hard. I watch abstract art and come away with it with my own impression of things in the best case scenario. I'll never bust my brain thinking about it though, so either the movie is enjoyable or it is not. The endless abyss of wondering what it all means is something that doesn't really interest me 99% of the time. So, we get a woman on the run due to a mean boyfriend played by Matt Riff of the Internet's fame, with an even meaner mother played by Cheryl Lee of Twin Peaks fame, and she ends up in a mysterious hotel. There we have three other intense women to hang out with. One of them is played by Madeline Brewer, who I loved in the 2018 Fantasia Fest film Cam. I believe she represents one thing in our protagonist's life, and the owner represents another. And there's another employee as well, actually, that I didn't include in this review, who maybe represents something else. I could be wrong. We do get images that look similar to the Red Room in Twin Peaks, and it wraps up fine enough. This movie got mad praise or shade in some cases. I thought it was pretty cool, actually. That's my middle ground take. Okay, so I seem to have a complicated relationship with the cinema of Helen Catiet and Bruno Forzani because for layered reasons, I was all for their new film titled Reflection in a Dead Diamond. At first, I saw their movie Amir, when it was a new release about 15 years ago, and the fetishistic tribute to the giallo genre was irresistible. Then my first Midnight Madness public screening was their film Let the Corpses Tan, that was equally psychedelic and a fetishistic tribute to Italian genre. But it dawned on me that nothing was really being said or contributed to cinema. I was just getting this dazzling but void product, void of substance. But the shots are really crispy, and it's great to see Fabio Testi in a meaningful role. It's still not a perfect movie, but the experience is fun, and this is probably my favorite movie by them. That doesn't mean it's immune from the problems which I have with their movies, but with adjusted expectations, this movie became a great vehicle for my guy Fabio Testi to rise to the occasion. It also doesn't hurt that I was recently in the Côte d'Azur area last year, and I have a fondness for this lovely part of the world, making this film a fetishistic danger diabolic of kind of tribute I can forgive. One more. The movie It Ends was very satisfying for an experimental movie filled with existential dread. It's also nice a movie for Gen Z. The director of the Q&A said this generation has said This one gets the lingo. As a millennial, I don't know how the Gen Z lingo is going really these days. But this movie is something else. Four individuals in their early 20s seem to have missed a turn and they get lost in the woods. Then we find out pretty quickly that no wrong turn was taken and no exit is in sight. This is a seemingly endless road, and now the characters aren't hungry, tired, and their car isn't running out of gas. If they pull over within a minute and a half, a bunch of crazed people come into violent contact with their car. It's really scary the first time it happens. The group slowly goes pretty crazy, and the drifting ultimately has a satisfying payoff, which, of course, will be revealed in this review. But this reviewer was fully behind this abstract effort. At first, I thought it might be an allegory for fear of aging and anxiety about the future from Fantasia Fest. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed these streams, and there'll be two more like this coming next week. That's it for me for now, though, and I want you to enjoy life.